Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time. I haven't filmed anything since Vlogmas. So that was what, the last one was December 24th. I'm really trying to get back into doing some filming and spend some time with you guys. It's been a struggle. It really is. So I spent several hours this morning, believe it or not, moving my camera around. I actually got my big camera out, my Canon camera with the big ring light, and I bought a little, it's not little, well it is, it's a TV tray that I found at Walmart. And it's an oversized, and it folds up to where I can set it in a closet easy. So I was trying to find somewhere where I can film with the light, and so I have been playing around with light and this setup for a couple of hours now. Yes. So, and trying to find, something pleasant in the backdrop, and what I've got here. Look, I still have my poinsettias. I have 3 of them, and I put them out every day on the table to where they can get some indirect light. And I have been known to keep my poinsettias alive until the Easter lilies arrive. So we'll see. So today I thought we would, like you saw in the title, we're going to talk about, I'm just going to do some makeup, and then we're going to talk about some Medicare things. And so if you know me, you know I'm 66. I'll be 67 in July. So I have been on Medicare now for a year and a half. So, and this is one of those things you kind of learn as you go. But every year you have to stay on top of what the changes are. So that is basically what we're going to talk about on some of this. So I want to kind of get started. I've already done my eyebrows. So, and I don't go overboard with my eyebrows. I do have a small arch up here because I feel that lifts the ice. So yeah, so I'm still loving my short hair. I am absolutely loving it. So we're going to do, like I said in there, the Mocha. This is the Pantone color of 2025 is called Mocha Mousse, which it is basically a soft brown, and which, I'm no stranger to that. So, and I brought out my microphones. So it's on here, and I've got all my stuff out. I got the little table here. I have a little makeup mirror here that I'm going to try and stay in frame while I'm doing it so you can actually see. So I've already done, of course, I did my skincare this morning, and I have done my makeup primer and moisturizer, which is all in one, and I have done that today. I put City Lips clear lip plumping gloss on my lips to sit. I'll kind of gently wipe it off when I get ready to do the lips. So I'll kind of go with you to what I'm going to be doing here. So real quick, let's just go ahead and start with this. I haven't brought this out in a while. I'm trying to revisit some of my makeup and go through and organize too. So I'm going to be using, this is the Chanel. My daughter had given me this as a gift, a couple of years ago, I think, maybe. But it's the iridescent illuminating fluid. And does it have a color? It does. Let's see. It's called Ivory. So I'll put it on here so you can see. I'm not going to do a whole lot, but I'm just going to do a drop. Can you see that? All right, so this is just a little bit of illuminating. I could mix this with the foundation, but the foundation I'm not going to be using. it's not going to mix like with that. So let's just kind of, I'm just going to kind of place it. And you can kind of see, I'm going to try and get up as close as you can, or as close as I can to you, to see, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm already going to just go, because you know, you can come back in and use this as a highlighters too, and I may do that, but I'm just going to place some of this around on my face, and I'm going to take the BK Beauty, the Favorite Foundation 101, get whatever that is off of my hand, and I'm just going to kind of lightly tap this around, smear it, you know what they say, smear. Just kind of ever so lightly. I don't need to be landing in an airplane. I just want to put a little bit of iridescent on me there. So let's get that going. Okay, so that is, there's what I've got to do with that. I'll set that aside in case I need to come back to it. But I'm going to use, I have not tried this. I saw a couple people using this, and I think it came out earlier this year. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. And I got it in 07, which is light, medium, and it's a neutral shade. And it is a stick. Some of it say it is a dupe for the Lancome stick. I love that Lancome stick. So let's just kind of start here. The color doesn't look too bad, does it? Okay. I worry about it being too dry, especially right now in the winter. All right, so let's just see. You know, I love the Merritt's foundation stick. So, I mean, this is, we're trying this together here. This is my first exposure to this. I was at Ulta. I have an Ulta near me. And not that I like going in there by any way, shape, or form. I feel very uncomfortable when I go in there. It's so crowded, always. But I needed some lip liners. I always keep 2 lip liners handy, and they are Milani's, and they're Spice and Nude. Well, and Neutral, I think I had that one as well too. And I usually keep backups of those, and I went in there to get some backup, and then I saw this foundation, and I thought, well, we'll just, you know, I think it was around $15, so it's inexpensive. It's a drugstore foundation. Not bad. Trying to get up close so you can actually see. I hate it when people don't have, oh, there goes the light. It has to adjust. When people don't get up close enough to where I could actually really see, and their light is not good, so I can't really tell. So I want to be able to do that with you guys so you can actually see. And my battery, I think because I had it playing with it, it's probably going to puke here in a second, so I'm going to have to change it out. So let's, all right, what do we think? So this is up close with this foundation. Oh, the light. There we go. Let's see if I can, if I do it here, is that better where you can see? Okay, maybe that's it. We'll get up close, we'll stay there. All right, so let's hold on and let me see. Well, I'm gonna try and, I've got the other battery charging, so let's just see if I can get that going. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do some blush. And to follow this mocha, I'm going to use a Chanel blush that I've had. It's one of my favorite of all time. It's still, I think it's still available because it's just a classic. And it's called Jersey. And it's just this beautiful, soft color. And because of the color of it, it's kind of a peachy, a warm peachy color. So I'm not going to use a bronzer with it. I'm just going to do a very light mocha. Because when I think of mousse, of course I think of chocolate mousse, but it's always so light and fluffy, not heavy by any shape or form. I'm going to be using Reffers. This is the 05. So I'm just going to get a little bit on. Oh my God, it always, Chanel blushes are just amazing. They just go on without any effort and never too much. And just, I love how it just really highlights my cheekbones. Because, you know, ladies, you always want to figure out what is your favorite feature, you know, and concentrate on that. My least favorite feature is my nose. And I've always said, well, I should have been Jewish with this nose. But yeah, this blush is just gorgeous. Just mwah, chef's kiss on this blush. I need to remember to bring it out more. So, but I'm going to try and do that. So, y'all let me know in the comments forward down, do you like me doing makeup, or are there others that you would rather watch? I was trained for a makeup, certified makeup artist. I just don't do clients really. I did a few, and then it just, at this point in life, no. So let's hold on. I'm going to try and change this out and see, because it's going to die on me in just a second. Okay, so we just did the blush. Now, I think I will, just for, you know, I may take just a little bit more of this illuminator, you know, and just kind of just lightly do that up there on the top part. So yeah, so we were talking about my nose. I know I was told one time by somebody that said I probably had, either it was broken when I was very small, but definitely probably a deviated septum, and it's too late to, you know, get that fixed. So, all right, so let's talk about Medicare here for a second. And where did it go? Let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to do. This is the Dermatology. I really don't have dark circles. So, but I am going to use the, this little tool here. It's a color perfector. And I'm using one of these little pointed brushes so that I could just do it right in here and not make a mess. And then I'm going to take a little bit down here as well too. If I sit up straight, then I don't get out of frame, is what I'm trying to do. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my lid. My lids are usually a little bit discolored. Or to me, you can see veins and stuff. And I'm just going to take my finger and kind of just smear that on there, maybe a little bit more. All right, so Medicare, what they changed this year was, of course, the premiums went up. I have Medicare, traditional Medicare, and I have a supplement. I was told before I turned 65 by my rheumatologist and her nurse, don't even think about going on Medicare Advantage because I have a chronic disease, rheumatoid arthritis. And I took their words at heart. So, yes, it cost, but you know, that's just part of it. That's just it is what it is. So, so it did go up, and then I have Medicare. So I have A and B, and if you know about Medicare, you know that you pay your, it comes out of your Social Security check, and it, hold on, and then you pay your, I pay my supplement separately, and the supplement pays what Medicare doesn't pay, basically. And that has been a godsend for me with all mine, with medical and stuff. And Part D is a drug plan. You have to get a drug plan for your area because it goes by zip code. And I have Humana. So not all drug plans will cover all drugs. So what happened, or what they did this year, is that they changed the out-of-pocket, and the max out-of-pocket for approved Medicare drugs is now $2,000, which is a huge benefit when you take expensive drugs. Now, there's going to be a Part B to this. I'm still waiting on information about another drug. When I went on Medicare, because they had the donut hole and stuff, it was really complicated, and they were not going to cover my RA medicine, which is the Enbrel, which is one of the most expensive medicines out there. And they had to, because that's covered, because you do it yourself, that's covered under Part D. So they put me to Remicade, which is in the office. I have to go in for the office, so you are at the mercy of their scheduler and such. So Remicade has not been working as well as the Enbrel, is something that I've been figuring out, and has apparently my orthopedic is just like, I should be healing and I'm not healing. So I'm going to go in. We're going to do the Mocha eyeshadow. It's going to be a very simple look. This is Chanel's, and this is called number 362, Candor et Provocation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this light chocolate color here. And I'm going to go in my crease with that first. And I'm using the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A503. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that on there. So what they have to do is get a prior authorization, so I'm waiting on that. But what I've already learned is, because let's kind of backtrack here. In December, I went to my cardiologist, and he suggested that I go on a new medication that he highly recommended, and which we'll talk more about that in another video. But for the purpose of this video is my experience and what I found out. Your specialty doctors typically like a cardiologist, they really don't want to do the paperwork because they have to have a prior authorization. And so he sent the information to my primary care doctor and asked her to do it. So I had an appointment with her anyway the next week after that. So I met with her, and so she said, okay. So me not having any experience with the prior authorization, I had to learn what this entailed because I want to know everything. This is just that one shade of that one wash. Isn't that pretty? These Chanel blushes and eyeshadows, I'm sorry, they just blend so effortlessly. So, all right. So when you get a prior authorization, what has to happen is you send it, the doctor has to send the prescription, just as normal, to your pharmacy. The pharmacy does on their computer, sends it to your insurance company, and it's all done electronically. So if it's not on their normal, where they say it's not covered, because most insurance companies, I know Humana has, you can go online and you can estimate drugs and you can see what they cover. So I had actually even called them, Humana, directly, and I said, do you not cover it or do you cover it with a prior authorization? And they said if the prior authorization is done, they consider it. So that's what happened. They sent it. The doctor sends it to the pharmacy. The pharmacy sends it to the drug provider. The provider declines it, sends it back to the pharmacy with their prior authorization form telling them what they need on here to get it approved. And then they send it to the doctor. The doctor fills it out. Then they can, at that point, they tell them on that form where to send it to. So the doctor then sends it to the drug department, or the insurance company, and they either approve it or decline it. So in my case, they actually approved it. So that's what I learned. Now, here's where we get into more of the Medicare that I learned. This year, because of that $2,000 out of pocket, that $2,000 includes your plans, your drug plans deductible for approved medicines and the out of pocket. So if you're out of pocket, which mine I think was like $560, something like that, it's not $2,000 plus $560. It is that $560 is in that $2,000. So what they did create, because they know that a lot of people that are on these expensive medicines, they can't come up with the $2,000 in the first month or two. And like this medicine is expensive. It's over $1,000 a month, whether you have insurance or not, and depending on how much your insurance pays. So, so they created a Medicare medical drug payment plan to where you can separate it out over 12 months. Now, you did have to opt in by a certain time, which was, I think, December 31st, something like that. So, but I started doing my research after I talked to the doctor, so I said, oh, okay, I'll do that. So I got it, all that take. I got that done, and then I got a what am I trying to say? An email with the approval about it. So I knew that it was on there and it was approved. So, all right, so I have done the wash of that color right there. I'm going to go in with this really soft little pinky, well, it's actually a beige peachy color right here, if you can see that. See if it'll focus on that. It's really pretty. Let me show you one here. If it does. There we go. So I'm going to go in with another with a Refer brush, and this is the O2. It's a shader. So I'm just going to go in this, and we're just going to put this on the lid. It's a light, very light shimmer. We're just creating a soft mocha mousse look. So with all that said, they got it done before the end of the year, but I had to wait until after the first of the year, January 1, because that's when those took effect. Now, my battery is fixing to go again. These I haven't had these batteries. I mean, I literally just pulled them out this morning, so they're just not charging very fast. So I may have to go do it again. All right, so I'm going to go with that brown again, and I'm just going to go underneath my eye a little bit. Down here, slightly drag it to the center there. This is not easy to do, tell a story and do makeup at the same time. So I had to wait. So January 1 is when everything took effect. They were closed. The pharmacy was. So I had to go on the 2nd. So I called on the morning of the 2nd to Humana, my drug provider, and I said, do you have me in on the payment plan? And they looked it up and they said, yes, you're good to go. I said, okay. So I head off to the pharmacy, and I get there, and they've got my prescription, and hello, Mrs. Roberts, that'll be $994. I'm like, what? So I was like, okay, do you have me on the payment plan? Because I remember she said, we don't have anything about that. And I'm like, okay. And I had another prescription that I hadn't picked up because it's just like, it was $52, and it was, I could have picked it up the last week as well too, but I'm just like, well, why not I just wait? Because that will be bundled in that whole $2,000 thing. So, because it says on there that you will not pay anything at the pharmacy. Medicare will send you a bill every month, and then you pay that. So, I leave there in a huff, and I go home, and I get on the phone with Humana, and I spend several dollars, and 4 people through there. But each one of them told me that they can show, or they see that I was in the payment plan and that drug was covered and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm very frustrated by that point. So the next day, I go back to the pharmacy, and the day before I was dealing with the pharmacist. And so this time I got one of the techs, very nice young man, and he said, let me see your card. Let me make sure we're calling the right number and everything. Well, he got on the phone and he said, I tell you what, why don't you go sit down and we'll see if we can get this all straightened out. I said, I appreciate that so much. So I'm going to be using these eyeliners that I love. And this is the Revlon Gel Eyeliners. I love these. These suckers stay put. I do need to, let's see, I need to twist this just a little bit. Let me see. to get a point on here. Got a little bit of a point there. Okay. So I sit there for almost 3 hours. And he keeps coming over to give me an update. I'm just going under my lash line into the waterline here. And it's hard to talk when I'm doing that. Right, the battery went off again, so we're going to try this one and see if this is right. So the young man there, very nice, he kept me informed, and he finally came out. It was almost 3 hours. He came over and said, "We got it." And he said, I said, "Was it on your end or was it on their end?" He said, "It was on their end." He said, "But trying to get them to admit that," he said, "and to get them to actually fix it," he said, "I had to talk to 6 different departments." And it's just like all of a sudden the light bulb came on. So he said, "You're the first one." I said, "Well, I'm sure that there will be more." And he said, "I know." He said, "So I'm glad we got this done this early in the game." He said, "Thank you so much for being patient." So I was able to get my medicines and not pay anything, and then I will pay the Medicare bill. So, long story short, that's what happened. And I didn't know if anybody else is facing this, because I'm asking to go back on my Emerald as well, which is extremely expensive, which I'll have to go through this, but that has to go through a specialty pharmacy. So the specialty pharmacy is already working on it. They already got it turned in, and the first part was happened. It got denied, and it's been sent back to the rheumatologist. And I do have to go, and I went last Thursday for my infusion, which I needed desperately. The medicine is not lasting as long as the Emerald did. Emerald, I took an injection every week I gave to myself. An infusion is every 6 weeks, and it just was not lasting. So they're hoping that they can get me, because I spent 22 years on Emerald without any joint damage. So they're hoping with all that information that they can get Medicare to approve it. She said, if not, if they just flat out refuse to, that I'll have to go. There's another drug that they would recommend that, you hear that? We have the fighter jets go over all the time. Makes me feel good though. Either it'll be an injection that's every 8 weeks, or it's a shot of another drug that I will have to go into the office that they have to do. But those would be covered under Part B of Medicare and not the drug part. So we're just going to take that one step at a time. But Emerald is, if you're familiar, you keep up with you know that they put 10 drugs on the list for Medicare to negotiate with the makers some of the most expensive drugs. And that starts next year in 2026, and Emerald is one of those. I'm trying to see if it's still going. Okay. So we shall see on that. All right, so I'm just doing, with this brown liner, I tell you, I don't know why. I mean, they sent these to me, and I am so happy. I'll put their information. Somebody did order a set. Whoever it is, I hope you like them as much as I do. And let me know if you're down there below, if you're the one that ordered it. I do make a little commission from it, but they're so smooth. And they're gel liners, and they stay put. So I did that just on the waterline, and then top of it just a gentle little one. And then I'm going to go in. Whoa, I'm dropping stuff. Okay, let me put the things down here. Hold on. Okay, that was my brush I knocked off. Focus. All right, so I'm going to go in because I love green. I'm going to put this in my bottom waterline, just as it's not mocha, but it's just a little accent. We're going to do that. So if I can get here, because I have dark brown eyes, so we're going to go in with the little green just underneath there. And I'm going to take this pointed Q-tip that I did with the concealer, and I'm just going to kind of lightly drag it. I don't know if you can see. I'm just kind of dragging it just to kind of soften it just right there. All right. So let's do the other one. It's hard to talk when you're doing this. I wish it'd come out with an olive green. This is more of like a pine green. You can see I've got olive on. Well, let's see, you can't. I've got olive on, and this is a pine green. So, all right, let's do that. Make sure I do that as well too here. All right, so that is my story with that. The new drug that I'll be taking, I'm going to give an update on it because it is somewhat controversial that my cardiologist has suggested, and I had to do some research on it too before I really decided if I wanted to try it or not. So, because once I start on it, it will be, I will be on it forever. But it's supposed to help with inflammation as well, because I do have inflammation in my arteries, including the head. It's RA patients are very likely to get arteriosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries. So he is trying to cut my risk at all. That can be done. That wasn't the battery, that was the card, the SIM card that's in my camera that's full, and I got it kind of trying to get it straight there. Up over here a little bit. Okay. It's challenging. All right, so all I've got left is some mascara to do on here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I wanted to know, has anybody else faced this with the Medicare? This new, or have you had to go through that? And if so, was it a piece of cake, or did you have to jump through hoops? Yeah, it's like a new day every year whenever they come out with new stuff. I just put on a coat of the primer on Sky High, which is a tinted mascara primer. And then I just take a little comb. I'm just going to comb it through. I didn't even bother, what am I trying to say? I didn't even bother curling them. I'm just going to do that. And the mascara, I'm just going to use the Sky High mascara as well too. So those were a trying couple of days. You know, it's just like, when I was at the rheumatologist, I guess it was this past fall, and the nurse, I was sitting there doing my infusion, and I was picking her brain about some of this, and she was telling me, she said, I told her about what the rheumatologist and the nurse did that I had before, about telling me don't even think about going on an Advantage program with a chronic disease. And she said that was so fortunate. She said she sees all the time, you know, like especially new patients that are just getting diagnosed and they are on Medicare. And they had these Advantage plans because they took them because they were cheap. And they got a free bag or a free gym membership or something that they never use. But she said but then they can't get, the insurance won't cover hardly at all, or if they do cover it, it's like $500 a month for the infusion or whatever that they need. And she said it's very, very sad. She actually, every county, as I understand it, or at least here, I know, or most counties, I guess I would say, I don't know that every one of them, have advocates for seniors. And she knows them quite well. And where she lives, which is a county above where we live, and she refers people to them all the time to where maybe that they could help get them help to someone that is not just trying to sell them an insurance policy, but to help them get them a Medicare plan that actually helps for their circumstances. So, and she said because some of these people, they don't have family that one cares, or they don't have family at all, and there's no one to help them make these decisions based on what they need. And that is so sad. And, you know, I was able actually even to pass that information on. I was at Kroger one day, and I was in the produce department, and there was this lady in front of the avocados. And that's where I needed to be, but you know, I don't get the ones in the bag. I like to pick each individual one up and look at it, feel it, and just how I am. So, but she was on the phone, and so I said, "Excuse me, I need right there." So she backed up, but I could hear her conversation on the phone, and she said, "Well," she was talking. It sounded like a doctor's office. She needed to get the appointment, but she was talking about, she said, I don't even know if they're going to cover it. I have no idea what my insurance pays for and what they don't, and I don't want any surprises when I get there. So when she got off the phone, I kind of hung around, and I told her, I said, I didn't mean to be eavesdropping. I said, but I'm on Medicare, and I understand. And here's what I have found out. If you know, there are these advocates. And she goes, oh my God, she said, do you have their number? So I pulled it up on my phone, and she took a picture of it with her phone. So I hope that that lady got some help with hers. But, you know, someone told me what to do, so I was paying it forward. So I want you this year, everybody here, pay it forward. I'm not sure what that was, but okay, so we're almost done with this makeup. I always use a waterproof mascara on my bottom lashes. If you know me, you know I do, because I have leaky eye syndrome. And the licky nose syndrome right now too. So what are we thinking with this? It's very, very simple. So what we're going to do the lips right now real quick. I know this is going to be very long, but I had some information I really wanted to share with you about this. And tell me what you think. What do you want? I'm really trying to do some more videos. I need to, yes. All right, here's what I'm going to do with the lips. I'm going to do the technique that I have been doing for several years now. I've done a video on it, but it's so very, very simple. I took off quickly when I had to change the card out. I changed the, I just wiped off the plumping lip gloss. So I am taking, I don't want that one yet. I'm going to contour just a touch. And this is what a technique that I've done many, many times. I'm taking a little pointy brush, and this is River 03. I know, June. She's just like, we got to go outside, Mommy. And this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. And this is, it's a bronzer, but it's perfect for contouring my lips. And I'm just going to shadow, because that's what you do when you're contouring. You're just shadowing. Jeez, man, I hiccuped. I'm just going underneath the largest part of my lip, which is here in the center. Just ever so lightly. And I don't even know if you can even see that. But then I'm going to do it on the top as well, too. She's pacing, so we got to get this wrapped up. So over the curvature part of my lip, I'm doing that as well, too. And so let's see if you can actually see it if I get up here real close. Just a slight shadow there. Okay. What I'm going to do now is line my lips. And like I said before, I went there to get Milani's. You know, lip liner or something I'm not going to splurge on. June, what are you doing? June, sit down. We'll go in just a second. This, I don't spend a lot of money on these. This is something I'm not going to splurge on, so which is lip liners. But I find these really good. And they are a pencil, so you do have to sharpen them. And this one is actually one of my favorites, called Spice. So I'm going to do this really. Let me open the door for her, just in case she needs to go out back here on the patio. June? Come on. Go out there. It's got, the outdoor patio has a little potty grass, whether she uses it. I can't catch her ever using it. But, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to use this to line the lips real quick. This is Spice by Milani. And these are very reasonably priced, and they're great. And I do not take it all the way because I do not want to accentuate the down. So, and I personally don't like a high contrast in my lip liners and my lipstick. I think it's a very dated look, and if it's too much, it just looks too clownish. So I choose the lip liner according to what the lipstick I'm going to be putting on. Even this, they are very creamy. And I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fill in with it. Okay, I could leave it just like that and even put a touch of lip gloss. But I brought out of my stash a lipstick that I hadn't brought out in a while, and I don't even know that they make these anymore, but this is Becca. Becca made lovely, lovely lipsticks. And this one happens to be tawny. I remember I had gone, I think it was Ulta years ago. I had gone in and it was National Lipstick Day. I didn't even know it. And you buy one, get one free. And this is one of the ones I bought. But I thought it would go really pretty with this mocha look. All right. So there it is. All right, so I hope you got some information that maybe was helpful with you about the Medicare. If you have Medicare experiences and you want to share with me, please let me know. Or if you have questions, I mean, I'm not a Medicare, I'm not an insurance provider. I don't know, I'm not a professional. All this is just my personal information about what I have experienced recently with the new programs and stuff. So if you have any tidbits from me, tips, share it with me, please, below. And so I'm going to get out of here. Oh, I ordered me this morning my Valentine's present to myself. I can't wait to get it. So, yeah, it's so special. So I can't wait. So I'm going to get out of here. Remember, ladies, what I tell you? I tell you every single day to get up and show up because you're worth it. So until I see you in my next video, have a very safe and beautiful day. And don't forget yourself.